Boxing King Media, powered by BYD. Mr. Dev Sahni, leading the press conference, doing all the interviews, running the show as per usual. Dev.
It was good fun today. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, it was good. Look, sometimes I look at these pressers and I think, am I going to get anything out of these boys and girls in some cases? And with Nathan Heaney and Brad Pauls, I thought they're just going to be really friendly, really respectful to each other. They're two nice guys. But we got a little bit extra today. Nathan Heaney was up for it. Nathan Heaney isn't happy with some of the things Brad Pauls been saying. He isn't happy with receiving countless messages from Brad Pauls fans in his DMs, and he's got a point to prove. And the other thing he won't be happy with is that he was this close to getting his fight at Stoke, and Brad Pauls essentially ruined his Stoke dream. So yeah, it was enjoyable today. I like the Ashley Lane, Andrew Kane stuff as well. It's just a cracking show on Saturday.
You know what I'm seeing more often now is, because like people now recognise you as the guy that can, stir the pot nicely, and then fighters bite. But I'm seeing a lot more fighters now not biting, and they're like calling you out. How do you find the moments where they're like, "Now, mate, you're just trying to stir it," type of thing? Because it's happened a few times. It happened again today.
It's all part of it, isn't it? I will always try to stir the pot. I've sat through plenty of boring boxing press conferences, and hey, look, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you end up with fighters haven't said anything to each other, but I'll always take the risk and give it a go. And if that moment ends up being someone saying, "Oh, Dev, stop stirring the pot," what do you want me to do? You just want to sit here and talk about your camp? Come on, give me something more. That's why we're here. These press conferences right now, these days, are presentations, right? They are a promotional tool to sell the fight, to get people interested, to get additional bums on seats for the Saturday, and some more viewing numbers on the Saturday night as well. And sometimes fighters need to just play the game a little bit. I don't mind taking the hit if I have to. It's all part of the game.
I think you kind of summed it up nicely. That is a reality of it. People like entertainment, and I, for one, definitely do. I'm just curious. Have you ever had a moment where where they've called you out on it, and like, I know you're quite a cool cucumber, but have you ever thought, "Fuck, shit, this is getting a bit awkward"? Share a moment.
Where a fight has come for me, obviously there was the obvious one with Anthony Joshua, who just wanted Eddie to ask him the questions. But I think I dealt with that okay. Not really. I keep my cool pretty well in there. I can't remember ever kind of being unnerved by a fighter. I'll tell you what, there was an interesting one the other week with Derek Chisora and Joe Joyce. I don't know if you remember that, but where Chisora was sat next to me, come in late, and I asked Joyce, "Do you think he's been avoiding you over the years?" And Chisora's like, "What are you going on about?" Like, gave me a fake backhand. Thankfully, it was just a fake one. And then later on, when I asked a question, he said, "Come on, I know you want to get a question in. You go on, you little rat," and sort of put his hand over me, sort of thing. That's probably the closest I've been to being unnerved. And who better to do it than Derek Chisora?
Yeah, I think he's had that effect on a lot of people, and I bet in that moment he was thinking, because like if he's got his hand around you, anything is possible, because he's capable of doing anything, as the delivery driver found out the other day. But going back to this card, which fight do you think, I know they've been unlucky with some of the fights pulling out, etc., but which fight do you think will probably be the fight of the night? I know which one I think, but see what you think.
I think it's Andrew Kane against Ash Lane. I love that fight. I'm a big fan of both guys. I'm a big fan of the story of Ash Lane, from being rock bottom, homeless, suicidal, to being on the top table, to being Northampton's first British champion, making history, making his family proud. Like, his story is unbelievable. And I'm just a big fan of Andrew Kane. Sometimes you just get a sense from a fighter what they're all about, and he's got that menace in his eyes. I call him the Merseyside Menace. He's just about it, and you saw from the little flare-up as well when they faced off, Ash Lane said to him, "Do you want to go now?" Don't ever say that to Andrew Kane if you're not ready to go now.
Anthony Joshua.
Or Anthony Joshua. I think you're not allowed to say it anymore, is basically the rules. But yeah, definitely don't say it to Andrew Kane unless you're ready to go now. And Kane stuck it right on him. Can't wait for that fight, because I think Kane could be very, very special, but Ashlane is in a great place right now and very experienced, very good fighter.
You know which fight I think is going to be the fight of the night? I think it's going to be the ladies' fight because I've watched Macalin's career and I was ringside when she fought Baumgardner. She doesn't fight in the back foot; she brings it. You know, she's happy to trade. Chantal loves inside fighting. I think that's going to be a war.
Yeah, look, I think you're right, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Chantel Cameron gets on. It's quite a high pressure fight, really, for her. So many new things, so many changes. New promoter, new TV station, new team, a new position to be in where she's bouncing back from a loss. What has that done for her? Has it harmed her? Has it improved her? What does it do for the mindset? So many new things. So yeah, a lot of pressure. And McCallid, as you say, she doesn't really take a backward step. She's a very good fighter, only lost in good company, and it should be the perfect first fight. WBC interim title on the line. She wants all of her belts back, Chantel, but it could also be a banana skin. This whole thing could be a nightmare. Let's hope not.
Yeah, she said to me she's excited, Ellen, that her parents are coming to the UK for the first time, so they're coming ringside to watch us. So good stuff there. Just talk about a couple of other things. I think the first thing I'm going to speak about, one of your guys, ZHANG, Queensbury fighter, he did an interview the other day and he kind of said something that we've seen from quite a few people saying it now, raising Anthony Joshua's selection of opponents recently and also highlighting the fact that saying no one's put it on him since Ruiz. And I've seen a lot of people say this recently, you know, from like Simon Jordan to Zhang's now saying it. A lot of, you know, regular people that we interview are kind of bringing that up. But, you know, are people forgetting that Otto Walling, the amount of people were saying this could be the upset of the night, and just because he blew him away, and now the narrative's completely changed.
100%. I remember the narrative heading into the Otto Wallin fight. That was taking a fight with a southpaw. Anthony Joshua had previously said after his fights with Usyk he doesn't like fighting southpaws, so he took a fight at I think 6 weeks' notice with a southpaw who was big, who has given Tyson Fury problems in the past. It's not the kind of fighter that you kind of say yes to at 6 weeks' notice. So it was a banana skin. And now, I guess some are trying to rewrite history and say, like, oh yeah, but it's because he sparred him, he scared him, and things like that. None of this was said beforehand. Wallin was a threat. Wallin was coming off a brilliant win over Gassiev. So I don't buy any of that. With regards to Zhang saying XYZ about AJ, I love it. Zhang out there on Ariel Helwani's show on the MMA Hour, this is good stuff. And his translator, who's part of the management team, Kurt Lee, is the most vicious and ferocious translator in the game. And maybe Zhang didn't even say anything like that, but Kurt Lee knows exactly how to hype it up. I'm sure Zhang did say that, but it's brilliant. It's brilliant chat. Zhang wants to fight AJ. Everyone wants to fight AJ. Maybe, but Daniel Dubois, you can't say anything about the opponent choice certainly right now when it's Daniel Dubois. That's a brilliant fight. That's a mega fight. That's AJ taking on the guy with the highest knockout percentage in the top 10 Ring Magazine heavyweights. That's a proper fight.
It definitely is, and you know I think you kind of summed it up nicely there. And talking of Dubois, AJ, the other narrative is that the only way Dubois wins is by putting it on Anthony Joshua, because again the narrative is that AJ doesn't like people putting it on him. So do you think that's the only way Dubois can win, or can he have a boxing match with AJ?
We've all watched Daniel Dubois fight, right? We know what he does. We know. I mean, we just know he's going to come forward and stick it right on AJ.
Or Dubois.
I can't imagine he will be looking to have any kind of chess match with Anthony Joshua. He will be trying to do the things which have brought him brilliant success in recent fights, hopefully with a tad more head movement. But I see him trying to stick it on AJ, just like he did with Hrgovic, and just be absolutely and utterly relentless. But AJ hits a lot harder, we think, than Hrgovic, and the general feeling is if AJ lands the kind of punches Hrgovic was landing, that Dubois will be in big trouble. But you would think Dubois will be listening to everyone saying, well, obviously you're not going to do that, and he'll know not to just take shots like that from Anthony Joshua. You can't afford to. So he'll have that respect. I can't wait for that fight. I just know Dubois going to stick it right on him. You just know it's not going to be a chess match. It's war.
War indeed. And talking to Dubois, we saw some tweets go out the other day. 258 management said he's not enrolled to VADA testing, and then Frank put something out the other day. Frank, or whoever handles the Queensbury socials, put out that Dan has enrolled. What was all that about?
I just saw one party sending a tweet and another party sending another tweet to reply, and essentially a nothing story.
That was the most I shall put it, he answered like a true politician.
But that's what it was. People love making stories out of stuff. That's the world that we are in, and there isn't a story there.
Good stuff. I think that's pretty much it, Dev. I was just curious. Obviously, your background's Indian. Do you speak any Hindi or anything like that?
Bit of Punjabi.
Well, we should actually do an interview in Punjabi one day, and I'll translate it.
It wouldn't last very long. It's I've got limited Punjabi. I can understand most of it fairly well. Speaking, I'm a little bit here and there. But do you know what? Some of it is I would just but I think this happens in the language itself. There are English words that kind of slip in to Punjabi because obviously, like, Britain used to rule India and things like that. So sometimes,
well, as many other countries.
Yeah. But sometimes the Punjabi is just an English word in an Indian accent.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask you one. Do you reckon? And I'll allow you to mix it up. Could you tell the fans why they need to watch this event on Saturday night? And you can mix it up.
Because it's going to be a brilliant, magnificent Seven show. Make sure you tune in.
You got to have something in. You got to have something in there.
Yes. Okay. Tune in for the magnificent Sath.
There you go. Translated, Sath means seven. There you go. He's done it. World exclusive. Yeah, Dev Sahni speaking Hindi. Dev, appreciate your time. Punjabi. Sorry. Yeah.
It might actually be some of it's a bit crossed over anyway, but yeah, gripping content for all your viewers, I'm sure.
Yeah, people will love your bilingual skills there. But Dev, appreciate your time as always, and looking forward to Saturday night. Thank you very much.